Yeah. You are now tuned in to the AP Loungecast. Sit down and relax. Have a drink, have a smoke. You are in the house with BK Trooper and
Misty Bars, aka Mo.
let's do it. Yeah. What's up, everybody? BK Trooper back in the house with my girl.
Mo, hey everybody.
Yeah. So, we've been away for a little while, you know what I'm saying? We've been doing our thing, and we've been really busy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we've been extremely busy. We apologize for not posting something sooner and doing a podcast sooner than this, but, we appreciate you guys, bearing it out with us.
I told you, subscribe. Yeah, so today's show, we ready to get right into it. So I have received an email, maybe a few weeks ago or a few days ago, whatever the case may be. I was, so many things going on. And this email, caught my attention. And I think it's very important for us to discuss today. And matter of fact, Mo, could you read that email for us?
Yeah, before I read the email, I just want to let everybody know if you ever have any questions or you want us to talk about a topic or even respond to you, any questions you have, feel free to please send us an email. We'll get back to you. The email address, aploungecast@gmail.com. Again, that email address is aploungecast@gmail.com. All right, so let me get into the email.
For sure.
All right. Hi, BK Trooper and Mo. I've been listening to your show since you guys began, and I must say I enjoy the show and appreciate the advice you both give. I'm a producer, and I have my beats for sale on SoundCloud. I have been thinking about copyrights and if it applies to me because it's only beats. Should I copyright all of my beats?
Wow, that's a really, really good question. You know what I mean? Copyrights. There's a whole lot of stuff going on about copyrights. I advise you to, look up on YouTube and Google and really inform yourself about copyrights. But since you're here right now, I'm going to drop a dime for you. And as far as the copyrights go, I'm going to let Mo, tackle it in first because she breaks it down special for y'all. And then I'll just come in and clean up, you know what I'm saying? And look for any little holes here or there that I can just fill in, you know what I'm saying? So, Mo, go ahead, set it off, and then I'll come in after.
Well, as far as copyrights are concerned, should you copyright? My gosh, you got your stuff up on SoundCloud for free, meaning like it's free for grabs. So if anybody hears your beats or, you know what I'm saying, or I don't know if you have it for free download, you did say you have it for sale. You did say that. Okay, you got it for sale. So that means people can buy your beat and copyright your beat as if though it's theirs. That's the importance of copyrights. It defends your ownership. It lets you know, it lets the courts know or anyone know if someone tries to duplicate your beat or takes your beat and tries to pass it off as their own, you got legal rights to it. You make a beat and you just put it up, in a public domain like SoundCloud, and all the other distribution places that they got like CD Baby and we said SoundCloud. What's the other one that they used to have?
There's many of them.
Yeah.
But the point is, if you're gonna put your stuff up, it should be copywritten. I mean, they say that, during, through my research, I've learned that just by posting it up, it's a copyright. But you want to take those extra precautions. And I like for me, I stand behind my work. So
yes,
I mean, if you believe in your work the way I believe in my work, I would advise you to copyright it. But go ahead and
yeah, basically. I mean, I like when you interrupt because it's reiterating the same thing I'm saying and giving a different take on it. So I'm cool with that. But what I'm basically saying here is, yes, if you posted it up, you can prove there that it is yours. You posted it first. Like say you had it on SoundCloud could then say, yeah, this person posted up the music first. So BK Trooper is 100% right on that. But if someone alters it, so they take your beat, they alter something, they slow down the tempo, they change the drums, that's a new beat now. And then you feel like, yeah, I feel you. Then you feel like, well, I made that beat, but yeah, it's considered a new creation because they changed something, they altered something. So my thing is, yes, it's just instrumentals. Yes, you think, well, it's not like it has lyrics or, it's not like I'm putting it out there for sale as far as like publication, like I'm selling this to a well-known artist. But how do you know that this person that buys your beat is not going to jump off into something good? And then here it is, you just got the sale of the beat, but no royalties, nothing else behind that beat, behind your creation. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's important to copyright your music just for that sense of ownership. And also it protects you. And, BK Trooper and I, we're ASCAP, which is, that's a which is a performing rights organization. And ASCAP sends us newsletters on a daily. Every day they send us like an email newsletter keeping us abreast of what's going on in the music industry. And the problem with people not copyrighting right now is the courts now have the say to say, well, you don't have it copywritten. So now it's up to the judge to say whether or not that copyright you go, because they used to have the poor man's copyright. Remember, you would mail it to yourself, mail your own CD to yourself and stuff like that, and that used to hold up in court. What they are doing now is they're trying to put an end to the poor man's copyright. So they're trying to shut some people out from being able to have rights to their own stuff. And I'm not trying to put anything against the Copyright Office or anything like that. What I'm saying is they are saying that you should be protecting your stuff. This is the cost of investment in yourself. And if you're not willing to put money up for yourself, then you're leaving yourself vulnerable to sharks out here, because every industry got sharks. You think if I know that these producers that's making these hot beats right now for Fruity Loops or whatever program that they're doing, and down south is hot right now. When I say hot, I mean like that sound is hot. You got even up north rappers and stuff doing that kind of sound. You gotta say to yourself, okay, they know that this is free, which means they don't gotta pay for nothing. You know what I'm saying, BK? They don't got to pay for nothing. Then, of course, you're going to be like, well, let me go and check these no-name producers or these not so they're not in the industry right now, per se. They're just on SoundCloud producers. And let me see what sound is going on right now on SoundCloud. They could mimic your stuff and copyright it. And then you'll be like, yo, you be listening to the radio one day. Yo, that sound just like my beat up on SoundCloud.
Yeah, I got jacked. I got jacked straight up. What was that website we was on?
I was trying to remember. That was the one I was talking about. SoundClick.
Oh
yes.
Man, I didn't have no idea about SoundClick, man. When they took my stuff right off of that site, easy. And I knew they did it because my songs were up on Google. I was like, yo, shits.
Like the whole instrumental was up on Google. Not just like the SoundClick website that he created. The whole song was up on Google, which means someone took it from the SoundClick page. And in order for you we're not going to get into the IT aspects of it, but there's a way that people can pull your stuff from websites. So protect yourself. That's basically, it's like anything in life. Protect yourself. You want to make sure you're taking the necessary precautions and copyrighting your music, even if it's just a beat. Plus,
you can prove that you copywritten the beat with your on your iTunes, your downloads. You can bring all that to court. But what if the judge don't want you to bring that in?
Like I said, they're making it harder. We did receive that email.
I don't want to look at your computer. I don't want to see this.
Do you have a copyright? Yes or no?
Did you file with DC? You know what I'm saying? If you don't file with DC, then it's up to the judge to decide on who he wants to give it to. And you're the rightful owner.
Yeah, it's up to the discretion of the court. And you don't want to ever leave something like in hindsight, you don't want to be looking back like, yo, if I had just copywritten or copywrote my stuff, I'd have been protected. Because, and the reason why I'm saying that, it's not that much money. People was lining up to get $200 something Jordans, but they don't got what is it, $55 now to copyright your beats?
And it's much easier now. You could do it online. What's the website?
I think it's copyright.gov.
Yeah, .gov. And you just, upload your stuff to the server.
Yeah, we'll be sure to post the links for the copyright, for copywriting your stuff underneath the podcast, and in the podcast description, so that you can click on the link for those of you who are interested in copywriting your stuff. But, it's so common. Like, BK Trooper and I have we come across artists all the time on the daily. And we've had artists young artists, and they have music out and nothing is copywritten. Nothing. And it's like we sit down and we talk to them and we tell them, you're leaving yourself vulnerable. And they're thinking, well, it can't happen to me. Like, once you start thinking it can't happen to you, that's like you're inviting it in. I'm sorry. Don't think like that. Don't think like it can't happen to me. There's no way it can happen to me. You are putting out good music. We just had a podcast. What was that? The last podcast it was about the Meek Mills and Drake situation and how people are not putting out original stuff allegedly. If we know that people are having ghostwriters or allegedly having ghostwriters, or they have people in their camp that's doing things for them. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? Don't think for a minute that doesn't mean that people aren't jacking people's stuff. Jacking is at an all-time high. Jacking is at an all-time high. Do not believe for one moment that sometimes, I'm gonna take it back to that movie, Dreamgirls. Remember Dreamgirls? And Jennifer Hudson's character. I'm sorry, I don't remember the character names. Jennifer Hudson's character had came up with a nice song on the underground circuit, and then Beyonce's character took the song, changed it up a little bit. I think they brought it up a little, faster tempo, but it was basically all the lyrics were the same. Like, they pretty much stole the song. That was going on in that time. They were setting that movie in, the 50s, 60s. Uh-huh. So I think it was 50s, 60s, 70s era. But whatever time it was, that was years ago. We in 2015. If that was going on back then, and they didn't even have the internet, could you imagine what's going on right now?
They're stealing.
Stealing. And unless you have them copyrights, like I said, before they used to have, give discretion to the person if you could prove it was on your computer or prove that it was. But now they're trying to say that if you don't have this copyright, it's strictly up to the court to decide whether or not they're going to go with the poor man's copyright, which is basically you emailing it or you posting it first and showing, hey, it came from me. I'm the originator of this music. It's up to them, which means it can go either way. And you don't want to put yourself out there. So in that position. So that's just my take on it.
And let me add something to that. Basically, in a lot of, YouTube, people that's on YouTube are saying don't copyright your stuff.
Oh, every time I see one of those videos, I get disgusted.
Wow. Unbelievable. I can't believe what they're spreading. I'm like, people are actually going to eat this up. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these people are influential. Mm-hmm. Some of these people, you look up to, you want to be like in some way or form or fashion. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a producer or your favorite, artist. And they'll be like, copyrights for what? And then you're not going to copyright your stuff, and they're going to be taking your shit.
No, yes, they will. Don't put it past some of these celebrities, because as we've seen, when the Meek Mills and Drake beef is still going on, supposedly. I don't know, But as we saw last week, or in the last podcast, I should say, stealing stuff or having ghostwriters, and that's not really stealing, because that person knows that you're going to use their words. They know that. So in that case, everything is out in the open. They know what it is. But if people have ghostwriters and don't even want to admit that to the public, do you think they want to admit that they stole someone else's song? They're not going to want that information coming out. You know, so you got to remember all these people that's coming out. They've had songs. They've had songs on the underground. It's possible they have been. I've heard rumors and stuff on the underground circuit that some people who were on the underground who were becoming very influential in the underground came out with hot songs that somehow made it to the radio but with celebrities, with artists that are well known. It wasn't them who made it to the radio. It was the artist taking their song made it to the radio. Now, eventually these people end up getting deals or, you know, something like that. So, or they get paid under the table, some kind of thing. But I've heard rumors of that happening. Do I have any proof or can I take you to an article or anything like that? No. But there are rumors of this stuff on the underground circuit and this stuff happening. It can all be avoided by just copywriting your stuff.
Yeah, so if you're independent and you're an independent artist, you definitely got to watch your material because the best material is independent material. You know what I'm saying? Because it's new, it's fresh, it's coming from a place where it's organic. So they'll, you know, it's like looking down at the minor leagues. They'll look at us independent guys and be like, yo, that's a hot song, and let's see if they copyright it, copywritten it. And they got the resources to check.
Did they copyright that? Yep.
You could be hearing your song on the radio.
And you don't want to do that. You want to get your piece of the pie. If they think that your stuff is up to par, that it could be, you know, on the next famous rapper or the next famous R&B singers or whoever, the next famous artist album, get your respect. Respect your craft. Respect your creation. Expect your creativity. You know what I'm saying? And just copyright it. I mean, even, and a lot of times what we hear artists say is, oh, well, I'm only making music just for my own purposes. I'm not really trying to sell it. I'm not really trying to, but if it goes public to a public domain where it's on the radio or something like that, don't you want to get your piece of the pie? You were involved in it somehow. Like, why would, that's like giving away money.
That is giving away money.
Why would you want to give away money? You know what I'm saying? So getting your copyrights in is important. And another step to it is having a pro. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's something that we'll do in another podcast, but they go hand in hand. There's a lot of paperwork involved if you want to do this yourself.
A lot of paperwork.
You know, so we're gonna share all that information on these podcasts with you so that you can protect yourself and, you know, do what you gotta do.
Yes. So moving right along in the show, you know, for those who listen this far, we have a surprise.
Yeah, baby.
For you guys. We're not gonna do our show like everybody else show and beg y'all to listen to the end. This is for those that listen all the way to the end. You know what I'm saying? So right now we're going to take a little quick break and we're going to set this up and we're going to go right into it. All right?
Back, and we have the surprise ready for you. It is a snippet from the single Genesis off of the EP Audio Autobiography. Enjoy.
It's still the same OG, trying to stay low-key. The album's out like every PYT know me. Like Pac, got them saying they love me. My line is divine, my ancestry is OG. Living legend, but a roster like Marley. Off that sour D, smell like Safari. Disrespect, and I make you irrelevant. I have you take it to the lab, take it back to Genesis. Back to the beginning, yo, it's Genesis. All right, we're back.
Yeah, hope y'all enjoyed that. That's just a snippet there. The single will be released later this week.
Probably Monday or Tuesday.
Yes, so it will be available for sale shortly. And we'll be dropping the EP Audio Autobiography in fall. So, you know, yeah, that's where we at right now. So, you know, we appreciate you as always listening.
Yes.
Make sure you send those emails, any questions, inquiries, straight to aploungecast@gmail.com. And we'll see you in the next podcast.
Until next time.